Hi, welcome to day 15 of our Summer Connection Challenge. Today we're talking about something every family learns to deal with at one point or the other, and that is conflict. But here's a twist. What if conflict does not have to drive us apart? What if we can grow together through the conflict? I'm Remi Ayodele, and we are back to my book, 21 Ways to Create Timeless Memories in the Teenage Years, Practically Connected Parenting. I'm reading today from chapter 15, Resolve Family Conflict and Grow Together, page 111. Conflict is inevitable in families. It arises from differing personalities, generational perspectives, and emotional triggers. Parents may feel disrespected, while teenagers feel unheard. A simple disagreement about chores can escalate into an argument about responsibility and fairness. When conflicts remain unresolved, they can create distance. Some teenagers withdraw, bottling up their thoughts, while others react in defiance. Parents, too, may struggle with pride, finding it difficult to admit mistakes or adjust their parenting approach. If handled poorly, repeated conflicts can erode family relationships, replacing warmth with resentment. When handled well, these moments can transform family bonds, teaching both parents and teens how to manage emotions, communicate openly, and grow stronger together. So let's be real. When these three challenges show up in our family, generational perspective, of course, parents and teenagers were from different generations. Personality differences, that is obvious. We have unique thumbprints, so our teenagers have their unique thumbprint as well. They are different than us. And the third one is emotional triggers as a result of what I call, or what is called, the fundamental attribution error. And what does that mean? When this error occurs in parent-teen relationship, we tend to blame the other person and say it's their character instead of just focusing on the circumstance that happens. I'll give you a few illustrations. The teenager walks in, barely says a word, walks into his room. The parent from a different generation that we are says, "That's rude and disrespectful." Have you considered this teenager might have had a rough day? Friendship issues, peer pressure, didn't do well on the test, and just emotionally drained. So how can we avoid this fundamental attribution error? We reframe the narrative. We can go and say, "I noticed you're quiet today. Is there something you'd like to talk about?" I know because sometimes they may not say anything even at that moment. I know because my daughter, sometimes it's late in the night, maybe 10, 11. I'm sitting at my desk trying to prepare for the next day. She picks at my door. The first thing I do is I swivel my chair and look at her. "You're not in bed yet?" If she lingers, I know that's my invitation. So I follow her to her room. And then we have the conversation, because that is what is called the opportune time. I shared on a podcast recently how the Greeks have two ways of saying time: the chronos and the kairos. The chronos is just the marking of time. The clock is ticking, or the years are passing. But the kairos is the opportune moment. So when my daughter picks through my door at night, that's my kairos moment. I leave what I'm doing and I hear what she has to say. So we must begin to find those kairos moments to connect with our teenagers instead of labeling them, whatever the situation may be. Let's look at another scenario. When the parent says no. Your teenager has just asked to go and hang out with friends. You shut it down without any explanation. That child is thinking, they don't trust me, or they don't even want me to have fun. So how do we help that teenager? What might really be happening is that the parents may be worried about their safety, about who they're going to meet without supervision, and Perhaps there's a tight family budget at that time of the month. But the child would not know. The teenager wouldn't understand. This reminds me of one of my clients. The daughter wants to hang out with her friends, but the mom just says no. So when they came for one of our coaching sessions and we were talking about it, first of all, we found out the personality difference was very, very dry, or like a tangent, right? Opposite, sorry. And the mom is this reserved person. She's fulfilled, not having hangouts. She's busy. She's in the IT industry. And the daughter is on vacation and wants to go and hang out. The mom cannot leave work. That's number one. And number two, the mom is the breadwinner. So she's managing the house budget. But she doesn't explain this to the daughter. So the daughter feels at odds with this. The daughter happens to be a personality that likes fun, the influencing personality. So for her, hanging out is her fuel. So this is what we discovered during my coaching, and we're able to marry the two, where the mom said, okay, tell me in advance. So now the daughter knows, I need to tell mom in advance, plan my hangouts, so I can get her to take me and also give me some money to spend when I'm out with my friends. So you can see how that win-win situation can easily just happen when you understand the personalities and you do not assume with fundamental attribution errors. So the question to reframe, instead of saying, oh, my parents is so controlling, she doesn't want me to have fun, we can help them to say, what is the concern? One, I need to know who you're going to be with, when it will be, so I can plan ahead and then have some funds available for you. You can see how that error can easily just be erased right there without any more ado. The number 3 example I'm going to give is the teenager is procrastinating. They started a project and then the parent says, you're irresponsible, you're lazy. I don't know if you've had to say that before, but anyway, don't let us dig too much into that. But have you ever thought of this child may just be feeling stuck, or they don't understand it and they need help? It also reminds me of another client, her son. When her son came for my coaching, his personality is a perfectionist personality. And so he was busy with other activities and did not prepare well for this test. So he was afraid of failing this chemistry test. And the mom was like, he's just being lazy and all that. I said, well, let's find out. So when the mom stepped out of our conversation, I asked him, what's actually going on? And he said, based on true to his personality, I felt I wasn't prepared and I didn't want to fail this class. But the good news is that he was homeschooling and he could retake the test. And so I explained this to the mom, and she encouraged him, helped him understand what he needed to understand, and then went on to take the test. So fundamental attribution error, we will not be so quick to judge how teenagers judging parents judging teenagers and say that's your character. It can be a circumstance. We're not excusing behavior, but let us give that benefit of a doubt sometimes to avoid conflict. Remember, we're trying to solve conflict as a family. These assumptions, when we can erase it, now it opens the door to empathy, to work with each other with insight, and connection grows one conversation at a time. So I have a question for us parents. How do you think you respond when conflict happens with your teenager? I'm going to share with you what my mentor, John Maxwell, says. There are 3 ways you could be responding to people. You could either take the high road, the middle road, or the low road. So what does it mean to take the roads? Let's look at each of those roads we could be taking. Let's start from the low road. When you take the low road, it's a hurtful response. It results in your voices being raised. Now it's a shouting voice or outside voice. It results in name calling and harsh words. Yes, you're lazy, you're procrastinating, and all that starts flying around. It's a reaction-based, emotionally charged. It damages the relationship and escalates the conflict. We don't want to go on the low road. because that teenager only has 7-year window at home. If you're enduring that 7 years, when they're gone, they're gone. You want to find ways to enjoy the 7 years and leave a legacy that would maintain family relationships for generations. And when you're old, who is going to take care of you? Who is going to check in on you? So let's put that in perspective, because after one of my clients, her son just got married at age 21. So if you miss that 7-year window, they turn 19, they leave your house and get married at 21, they're gone. So build emotional bonds that will make them want to come and visit you, want to have relationship with you, because they're human. Yes, they're blood related to you by birth or whatever, by adoption, whatever means they are part of your family. But connection happens when you build those emotional bonds. Let's go to road number 2. Middle road is that of shame-based response. You focus on their past mistakes. You start reminding, oh yeah, that's how you didn't turn in your homework that day, or that's how you forgot to take out the garbage. So now we're reminding them of all their past errors. It's like shaming and putting guilt to correct the behavior. It may lead to withdrawal or resentment. And those are the 2 tangents you don't want anyone to be in. So you do not want to take the middle road either. But let's look at the 3rd road you could take, the high road. This is an uplifting response. It encourages your teenager based on their unique personality. Like I said about my other client, now the mom, when she gave me her feedback, she's able to respond based on, wow, you like having fun so much. Let me know when next you're hanging out with your friends, I will get you there. That was the result of our coaching session. So that is an uplifting way of responding instead of just shutting the child down and doing nothing about their request. So being able to encourage based on each child's unique personality, or the child that is always asking questions. Oh, let me tell you the other client. This child likes to talk and ask lots of questions, but the mom is so drained from her high-powered accounting job, and so she just wants peace and quiet at the end of the day. But the son wants to chat. And so this was causing some friction. And I said, Mom, you can tell him, not now, but give him a time to come back after you have rested from your day's job. Because if he doesn't talk to you, who else is he going to talk to? So being able to remind ourselves that those personality differences are real, and being able to adjust and give each other room to grow. This high road also has 2 ways of operating. You use what we call the golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated. So your teenager wants to be treated with kindness and respect. So model it. We want to practice modeling that. The other rule we can use is the platinum rule. Treat others the way they want to be treated. So golden rule is kindness, just being human kindness. The platinum rule is understanding that personality and being able to treat them the way they want to be treated. So for example, going back to the story of the mom, the son wants to talk. Treating that personality by listening is how you maintain that relationship. Or the daughter that wants to always go out and hang out, treating that personality with their need for social connection is the way to use the platinum rule. So 3 ways you can respond to any situation. Either you're taking the low road, which is hurtful response, or you're taking the middle road, which is shame-based, reminding people of their past errors, or the high road, an uplifting response that considers their personality, treats them with human kindness, and model respect for our teenagers. Because the truth is, we don't want to perpetuate disrespect, because when they grow up to be adult, they'll think, oh, now I'm the boss. I have a hand on you. I'm older than you, so I can talk to you anyhow. I can treat you anyhow. We're perpetuating this disrespect down the generations. And it feels as I can't wait to be an adult so I can mistreat someone who is younger than me or someone who is in less authority than me. That is not what we want to continue. So because I know some cultures, the adults will say something, the kids have no voice. We don't want to perpetuate that. We want to break that circle and be examples to our teenagers. I know it's easier said than done, but it's high time we resolve conflict as a family so we can maintain positive, honoring relationships from generation to generation. So, how do we even now start responding? What's our action point? What's the way forward? You know, my kids like to play Monopoly. Let me show you Monopoly. So, if you've ever played Monopoly, Monopoly game is something I played as a kid too, and my children like to play that too. But there's something unique about the Monopoly game. When you pass go, they say you have to collect 200. So yeah, here's your 200 Monopoly money. So you pass go. So I'm going to help us to apply resolving conflict as a family with the acronym called PASS. So whenever you pass go in Monopoly, you get $200. 200 Monopoly money, not dollars. It's 200 Monopoly money. But to be able to maintain positive relationship and resolve conflicts in our family, let's use the PASS framework. P stands for practice empathy. Ask, what might my teenager be feeling today? P, practice empathy. A, ask questions. Be curious, not accusatory. Can you help me understand what happened or what is happening? You know, I like to say during my trainings, I said, be curious, not furious. I know it's easier said than done, but we must begin to remember. Ask questions. S, suspend assumptions. Let go of the story in your head and listen with an open mind. It may not be something they're doing again. There may be a circumstance that is causing it this time. So erase the board and listen with an open mind. And S is self-awareness. Notice your own triggers and be willing to own your part. So if you have this emotional outburst, you too begin to notice what triggers me when I'm relating with my teenager or with my spouse, you know. And so the PASS framework: P, practice empathy. A, ask questions. S, suspend assumptions. And another S, self-awareness. So when we do that, we're passing go and we're getting what? Our 200. Where's my 200? Let me bring it back out. In Monopoly, when you pass go, you get your 200 for passing go in Monopoly game. So we use this PASS acronym to pass over conflict in our family. So it's time to grow, because we may not be used to practicing the PASS framework, but now is our time to grow. Actually, that's where I have this t-shirt on today. Change is inevitable. So the change in dynamics of relationship between parents and teenager will always continue, because they're going through adolescence, they're finding themselves, they're trying to discover who they are. So that change is inevitable. However, my t-shirt says growth is optional. So whether we're going to grow and overcome these conflicts, it's going to be an option we have to take in order to go forward. So again, in my chapter 15 of resolve conflict together, so as a family, to strengthen family bonds, I'm going to just round up here with the growth acronym. So we must grow past it, past everyday triggers with our teenagers or with our spouses. The first letter there says G. Give grace and forgiveness. Nobody gets it right all the time. A simple "I am sorry" from a parent can work wonders. Because again, we want to model what it means to be a leader. And we started in one of my sessions saying that leadership is influence. And so as parents, we want to influence positively. So being able to exemplify apology and knowing that it doesn't make you less than, it makes you a leader that goes the way and shows the way. R is respect individual needs. Every child is different. So some want to talk it out, some want to bottle it up and think it through. If you know their personality, you can approach the situation based on that personality. If you have a compliant child or conscientious child at home who is very careful, they want to think through things. But if you have an influencing child, oh my goodness, they want to talk it out. So you must know your child and know which personality am I having this situation with, so I can approach it with wisdom and insight. O, offer choices and collaborate. Involve your teenager in decision making, even chores and consequences. Let them have a sense of control. They're also part of the family. And this one, it reminds me of one of my clients again, so the daughter is dominant style and the mom is steady style. So the steady wants to go with the flow, wants things to be consistent, does not want any conflict at all. But the dominant style wants choices, want to take charge, want to achieve their goal. So the mom once had to go to a specific school and the daughter said, no, I'm not going. So during our coaching session, understanding the personality, I say, Mom, this child needs options. So look over these options for college choices and career choices after high school, so that she can know that she's part of the journey. I know you have good intentions, you mean well, but give her options, choices, explain to her, so that you can have a conversation together. So, offer choices and collaborate. And W is walk away to cool down. Sometimes the best response is a pause. Step away, breathe, pray, and return with clarity and love. This one is the hardest one, but let me round it up. GROW acronym. G, give grace and forgiveness. R, respect individual needs. O, offer choices and collaborate. And W, walk away to cool down. So if you know that this change in relationship with parents and teenagers and young adults is inevitable, then the response is to grow through it and learn how to respond differently. So a personal story, there was a time we were traveling. Remember, I already talked about travel together as a family. And so, of course, we were sharing one hotel room. And so you already have the couch, pull-out bed and stuff like that. So you share one bathroom. So taking turns became a negotiation thing. I'm going first, I'm going second. But that afternoon, we had to have lunch. And like I said, sometimes mornings we all have the same thing, the same location. But afternoon, somebody wants Subway, somebody else wants Chick-fil-A, somebody wants Panera bread. So somebody wants something different. And so instead of saying, no, we want to be together as a family, no, one place. We just like one year, we just say, no, we are still going to be in one place. So you take your money, go and buy what you want. We're meeting at this time, at this location. Bring whatever you found. We'll eat together. So that still helps us to have that family time, and everybody also got whatever they wanted to eat. So being able to resolve this conflict, it takes some coming up with new ideas all the time. So instead of allowing our children to see that we want to control everything all the time, conflict does not have to be control. We can get creative and improve our connection with our teenagers. So what are the life skills we're passing on when we do all this, when we use the pass and we grow? We're teaching our children, our teenagers, emotional regulation, that everything does not have to be heated up. Pass, again, is we're practicing empathy, asking questions, suspending assumptions, and walking in self-awareness. So emotional regulation is number one lesson we're teaching. And that's a life skill, not just at home, everywhere. We're teaching them problem solving. When something arises, being able to solve it. Number three, listening and compromise. So, like in the case of the mom, she listened to what the daughter wanted, compromise, okay, I'll go to this school, go to that. So, able to have that compromise, or you buy your own food, bring it, let's eat together anyway. So that's compromise. And then respect and humility is number four. We know that RESPECT, everybody needs respect. So if we respect our teenagers, they respect us, because we're showing them. People do what they see, not necessarily what you say. So if we want our teenagers to be respectful, we too should practice respect. And again, it's a journey, because there's some cultures children don't have any say, but we must change that narrative. We must grow out of it. And so 4 things our teenagers are learning when we learn to resolve conflicts as a family: emotional regulation, number 1. Number 2, problem solving. Number 3, listening and compromise. And number 4, respect and humility. It takes humility to say, I'm sorry, But humility is the roadway to promotion in life, really. And because attitude is everything. So, these family skills, when we model them, will not only help at home, it will help them in relationship, in the choice of their own life partner, in being promoted at work, because who wants to work with a crappy person? We want to be able to give these skills to our youth while they're home with us. We don't want to endure the teenage years. We want to enjoy it because, mind you, when you go back to chronos time, chronological, chronos, that word for time in Greek, it means the time is ticking. We only have a 7-year window. If every day is charged, at the end of 7 years, when they bring out home that cap and their certificate, they're gone. You don't want to miss the window. And the challenge for us today, think about a recent disagreement you've had with your teenager or with somebody else, because the point we want to practice what we just learned, right? Revisit the Pass and Grow acronym and take the high road. Ask your teenager how to resolve conflict, because if you want to force a compliant child to talk right there, you're escalating it. So if you say, are we going to talk later? Talk later. Or the influencing child that wants to talk right now, if you just shut them up and close the door, you may be muffling them and you'll never hear from them again. So being able to be sensitive, how do we want to resolve this impasse? We want to be sensitive. So, I always ask us, right? Remember to take a picture. Well, you can't really take a picture of a conflict moment, but maybe take a picture of a happy moment when you have reconciled and share with us on social media. #me Summer Connection Challenge. So again, this is, let me read something I wrote here. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about making progress together. And let conflict become a doorway to deeper connection. If you haven't gotten your copy yet, Practically Connected Parenting, Day 15, you can find on Amazon.com, Amazon.ca if you live in Canada, Amazon.co.uk if you live in UK, and Amazon. Whatever country you live in. So thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, day 16. Oh, I need to give you a teaser. Let's see what we're talking about tomorrow. Just give me 1 minute. One moment here. Tomorrow is... So we did day 1. Tomorrow is day 16. Let me find it right now, right quickly. These pages are sticking together. Okay. Day 16. Take lots of pictures. Cheese. See you tomorrow.